Welcome back to Call the Damn Leads, the show by sales professionals for sales professionals. I'm your host, Drewbie Wilson. With more than 2 decades in sales, I've seen it, been through it, heard about it. Now I'm bringing it to you, my favorite people in the world, the sales community. Because let's be honest, this is the greatest career of all time. Doesn't matter where you come from, what background, what personality, you can make an amazing life for yourself in sales. Today's guest, no stranger to the journey. She's my new friend, Miss Rachel Minion. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
I appreciate you spending some time with us. I want to dive right in. I want to hear a crazy sales story.
So, there's something spectacular about finding a common yet completely unexpected connection. I'm sure we've all had the same experience, right? My business partner did the initial discovery call. He did the intro call and last minute popped me onto a call with a prospect to see how I could get them results. And I'm digging in their website, I jump into their socials, and then I pop open his personal LinkedIn. And we have more connections in common than I could really admit. And I start looking through those connections, and it hits me. I know him. And not only do I know him, he probably knows me too. And I don't know if I should bring this up in front of, my business partner on the call. What do I do? So the backstory here is for a little over 5 years, I was a weekend warrior in Dewey Beach. The friends that we were connected with were all from Dewey. If you've never heard of it, it's this little town. It's 1 mile in Delaware on the ocean that has live music night and day. None of us ever have seen the beach. So I'm trying so hard not to question him. I'm trying to be respectful. How do you get around this situation, right? And still say, I know who you are and you know me. So takes a minute. I take a deep breath and I'm like, So I see you're a Dewey Beach guy. Funny enough, he was in one of those bands that would play every single weekend that I was a groupie for. And we hung out. We had the same shared knowledge, the same friends, the same $5 Bud Lights, and we had met 15 years earlier. So, well, I'd love to say we ended up talking about business from that point on. We didn't. It was 2 friends catching up, and he signed the contract as we're talking about where do we go hang out for live music now.
How cool is that? It's always awkward, especially since social media and over the years, it's 2024, almost 25 when we're recording this one. It'll probably come out in 25. But what's so fun about social media is how quickly we can catch up with people of the past and how easy it is to establish rapport in a way that doesn't feel invasive or intrusive. And that's the hardest thing, especially because so many people these days have their guard up when it comes to sales and relationships, that when you're able to look and do a little social recon and go, oh, okay, we know a few of the same people, or hey, based on the posts they've made, we're kind of like-minded on a few topics, maybe not all of them, but if you can find just that 1 or 2 common threads, you can pull together some pretty amazing things. And I'd have to guess that relationship ended on spiraling into a number of different opportunities just based on that commonality. We've
been working together for over a year now, just based off that. And we're sending each other, here's who we're going to go hear this weekend, or, hey, have you checked out this new band? And it's built that incredible relationship and a foundation that had we not, I don't know if we would have won this prospect.
I absolutely love those kind of stories. They're some of my favorite. And I'll never forget the one time I kind of felt almost social media famous. We were at dinner somewhere in Daytona Beach, Florida. I was visiting family down there in, Daytona Beach, and we went to dinner somewhere, and someone was like, hey, man, aren't you Drewbie? I was like, yes. And they're like, oh, I read your book. I listened to your podcast. I love the show. And it was so interesting to see their friends go, whoa, how crazy. But then their friends started asking questions. They're like, well, what do you do? So, I'm a sales trainer. I help people grow their business and get more attention. And it's funny how the service and the friendship side of business can truly turn into sales when it's not done in a way that's spammy or obnoxious. So, Rachel, I'd love to know, in your journey, how have you developed your sales superpower? Or what would you say is the thing that you do different in sales than most other people?
I'm brutally honest. I'm direct. I'm to the point, and I don't sugarcoat. And so I'll tell you if I don't think I can help you, and I'll tell you if I don't think you're helpable. I will tell you if I think we can get great results for you. And I think it's grounded in that authenticity that I've been able to build relationships that can actually help my clients versus the alternative of being the yes man. Oh, yeah, we can do this, and selling a bunch of vaporware where they hate you in 10 minutes and it's a churn and burn business.
Mm. Mm-mm. And, you know, speaking of authenticity, I love the background. For those of you that aren't watching the video, she has some awesome guitars in the background. You know, music is a great relationship building tool. And in what I would love to know, you know, kind of going into being brutally honest, how often do you bring up someone's musical taste and then kind of rip on them for liking bands that are terrible to build rapport?
So let me be clear. I am an epic marketer. Brand is my thing. My company is Rockstar and Moon. So when you get on a call with me and you see guitars in the background, you feel like you're part of the brand. When we start talking and having a conversation, if I want to know more about you, I'll ask you what your walk-on song is. And if you can't answer me, we can't work together. I just don't think that it'll jive in any nice way. I don't care if you tell me it's some Barry Manilow song. I would just rather you have an answer and be somewhat into the same world versus the alternative of, oh, I don't know. I've never thought about that.
You know, I'm going to be honest with you. Picking a walk-on song, writing a bio or an about me section, that is one of the hardest things I've ever had to go through. Now, I've written 5 books and I've walked on dozens and dozens of stages at this point. So I've progressed past that. But the first time someone said, hey, I need you to go and pick a song that you're going to walk out to. Mm-hmm. You've always dreamt about it as a kid. You've always thought like, all right, WWE style, like
yes!
Come in, kick the glass, like, let's go. Blah, blah. You know, and it's an alter ego that we step into that brings that confidence, that brings that brand power to life. So how do you work with your clients to help them see that walk-on song, that confidence level is your brand? That is the thing that people are buying into and getting excited about.
I think I simply point out that that's how we do it here. That is what my brand is built on. You see it in every single thing that we do, and it's fully congruent. Whether you go to the website, you look at my backgrounds, you have a conversation with us, you look at any of our cold outreach, somewhere in there is some dude with a guitar that is in your face. And I know it. I get it. We don't play guitar. We are not musical, but I have the brand that backs it up. And so when we're building for a client and I start building a website or I start putting together a brand and we're going to do some brand refresh, I will normally ask, okay, give me your inspiration. Tell me some sites you like. Okay, now give me a few of your favorite songs that you want this to feel like. And that gives me the beat of what should be the thought process.
It's so cool when you peel back the layer for branding and marketing and working with entrepreneurs especially. We kind of get pigeonholed into this belief that we got to do it like everybody else because that's kind of the way it's always been done, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I'll never forget when I launched Call the Damn Leads originally, it was a huge joke because I owned a marketing company and I had the churn and burn where I was really great. I was getting people leads all the time, hundreds, if not dozens, you know, a month. And they would constantly call me and go, well, I don't know if this works. And like, these leads suck. And I'd just look at them and I'd go, guys, I mean, you have a name and a contact point and some level of interest. I don't know what else exactly you want me to do. Except one, I did pick up the phone and call the leads and set some appointments and close a big deal. And like, that's where it all came from. But so many people said, hey, that's not professional. They're not going to buy it in the marketplace. Corporations aren't going to hire you to come in and yell at their staff to call the damn leads. But I leaned in. I said, this is who I am. I have Meme Lord on my knuckles. Like, this is just my brand. And people have embraced it. And what's cool is the people that it's not a fit for are quickly to say, hey, that's not a good fit for our company. So for you, Rachel, I want to know, you're not a musician, but you are a rock star in the sense of, to my knowledge and belief, entrepreneurs are the new rock star. They're that new influencer, that person that someone's follows. So how do you get your clients to wholeheartedly believe in that and understand that's the path they need to take?
Well, when we're having a conversation, I start with my clients on, if we're your ideal client, what would you want them to say about you? What do you want them to speak about to their colleagues, to their friends behind your back? Now, the reason Rockstar came up for me is because in 80% of my interactions with clients before I created this brand, they would write back, "Oh, this is awesome. You're a rock star." It stuck. It was always something in the back of my mind like, hell yeah, I grew up and I wanted to be a rock star. I don't have any musical talent, but now people are reinforcing that idea. And that's what I want you to feel when you interact with me. That's what I want you to feel when you interact with my brand. So let's take that to your brand. What do you want to feel? And for some of them, it's like, I want to be that guy, that Sherpa. Okay, great. How do we get you there? What do we make that look like? What are you wearing? Another one of my clients was really intent that he wanted to be the ultimate corporate professional. So everything is uber corporate-y, but it fits for them. We had another client that said, I want you to make me stand out in a way nobody else has ever stood out, and I want it to be crazy. All right, we did it. We created it. And she was able to grow that brand because it gave her distinction among her peers. Why try to be the same as everybody else versus in every interaction, you want somebody to feel that same oomph so they can not only tell their friends about you, but then they feel it too.
That's so good. And what's fun to me is breaking it down to almost a childlike level for people. You know, hey, what's one of the most famous books we had as kids? Where's Waldo? We were looking for the guy in the striped shirt with the red and the white and the little pom-pom hat. Like, we knew that was the guy we were looking for. When it comes to branding and marketing and sales especially, this is the thing I think so many sales professionals forget and miss out on is they're doing business with you. They don't care about the logo. They don't care about the banner or the signature at the end of your email. They want to know, do you genuinely have their back? Are you going to be there to help them solve their problem and get to the thing that's been like keeping them awake at night so that they can get a good night's sleep, so that they can really truly enjoy the life that they've built? And I think it's so interesting that people are afraid to step out of the box. It's like, I want to just fit into this little normalcy, and it's like, well, that's boring. And no one wants to be friends with a boring person. So be the rock star. It's a hard. I can't do this any better. You got to be the rock star. It's so crazy to me. But we can break it down to that childlike level, because when we think about growing up, that's what it was.
And when we think about it, right, the reality is sales. It's more than a transaction. It's the first real deliverable. And that's it. If we think of it that way versus, oh, we have to do this. No, you're delivering value in every single shape and form that you can. And once you've delivered that value, that's where you figure out, okay, are we going to move forward? Are we not? Clients, we expect them to leave with more insights, more solutions, and more actionable steps than ever expected after a conversation with us, right?
So I want to back up a second. I want to know, how did you end up launching your Rockstar marketing company? How did this become the thing that you decided is like, all right, I'm going all in on this. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is the thing that I want to build.
So in 2010, my parents' business closed. I was helping run their printing business. And that was around the time where all the printers were going out of business. The government printing contracts were closing down. My biggest client, Ritz Camera, bankrupt. And because I was a female in the print industry, no one was taking my resume seriously. Yes, I can get on a press. Yes, I can do the art. Yes, I can manage production. Yes, I can do estimates. Yes, I can run this business top to bottom. But nobody believed me. And I'd get into an interview and they'd start laughing like, no, you didn't do this. It's your parents' company. You barely showed up to work. Wait a minute. Hold up. So sitting in Dewey Beach, I was behind the Bottle and Cork, the world's most incredible rock and roll bar. staring up at the stars and the moon. And I said, look, I got to have some company that I can grow my skill set with, figure out what I can do. It can always be a side hustle. I don't need to think about this anymore, but I just need to create something that no one can take away from me and that I can grow with. So with the stars and the moon, listening to some rock, it became Rockstar and Moon. Now, fast forward a decade, and I'm running a division of marketing for Ticketmaster. It's the coolest job, right? You're not going to stop working here because my first year I saw 275 artists. That was epic. So we're there and things are going great. And then the pandemic hit. And there's no events. There's no Ticketmaster. So there's no need for Ticketmaster employees. We were on a Zoom. 80% of us were furloughed that afternoon. And I called up all my clients because I kept this as a side hustle and said, hey, you know all those projects I put off because I'm too busy? Let's make it happen. I was full-time that afternoon and I've been rolling since and growing. And it's been so cool, right? Before I was working for the man, which at Ticketmaster, I guess you're still working for the man, right? Mm-hmm. And now that's it. We're done.
I mean, the reason I love to hear these kinds of stories is because a lot of the times when I meet other professionals, they've got the makings of their thing, their brand, their rock star status, and they're fighting that corporate golden handcuffs of, well, this job pays the bills or it provides XYZ benefits that most people don't realize are still available to anyone else out there. You just don't know what you don't know yet. I digress. They're stuck in that mindset of, what do I got to do to break free? What do I got to do to get out of this situation? Now, for you, it sounds to me like it was one of those things where COVID was kind of a blessing. That's how it was in my family as well. That's what we look at it. Saved my marriage, to be 100% clear. But if there's someone who was stuck and they're in that idea formation, what advice would you give them on, okay, here's 2 or 3 things you could do to really start putting that brand in place to solidify when you're ready to make that jump?
The first is start before you're ready. I don't think anybody's ever ready. I don't think anybody's ever like, yes, I'm ready. I'm going to open my business. Everything is perfect. No, it's let's do those little things and what micro steps can we take so we get some micro yeses. We get some buy-in. We create this thing on the side and we know that it's viable and it's product tested and it's market tested. And we know that there is a need for it. Before we go jump full bore and say, oh, we're ready now. Doors are open. Where are my sales? Let's go do the hard work ahead of time. So all that pre-work, it's worth it. And then you have that ability to, okay, do I get somebody to come in and manage this while I keep my full time? Or do I say, screw it, and I have enough business and I have belief that I can grow?
I think that the belief is a big part of it. Because a lot of the time someone knows in their heart of hearts that their brand could be something amazing. I don't know the exact statistics, but I'm guessing 999 out of 1,000 fail just because people quit before they even get started. So when you're developing that relationship with someone and you're helping them kind of decide, all right, this is the branding, this is the thing. What is it that you like to do from a sales perspective to sell them on taking that investment in themselves and starting that brand? What do you think has been like your number one go-to, like, this is what I usually hit them with, and then it's the light bulb flips and they go for it?
I ask them, the starting point, like we talked about. Okay, tell me about what you want them to see. What would you want them to feel? Give me an idea. I will pull up some random images that are inspiration to me, could be possible potentials for logos, download them really fast and say, okay, so do we like any of these? Or any of these things hitting? They can't say no after that because now their brain is spinning and they're committed if I've gotten close enough, right? So now it's like, oh, all right, done. Let's go make that happen. Go build me that logo. Go build me the brand. Tell me the messaging.
That's so good. And I don't know if you're aware of this. I'm going to share it with you because I think this is a great tactical training moment for the listener. But what you're essentially doing is you're opening a loop for them. You're getting that. You said you're getting them thinking. what we call it is opening a loop. I did a lot of NLP study, right? Okay, well, now they can't stop thinking about what it could be and how that could be the thing that they're ultimately looking for. And the subtlety of that is so wonderful, Rachel. I just had to touch on that because a lot of times when it comes to sales, we're future pacing. We have to get to the idea of, okay, first and foremost, where are they right now? Because now we know in their timeline of events, which directionally are they facing towards the thing they want, or are they still looking back like, that's my comfort zone, I need to get there? And then future pacing them by opening that loop of showing them the possibility.
It's so the starting of an obsession, right? So let me tell you a little bit about where I figured this out. So years ago, my husband and I were going through IVF, and the doctor had said, so you're probably going to have twins. That's how this works. You got to prepare yourself for this. And you're probably going to be on bed rest for a few months. And so my husband started thinking, okay, so this is our path. We need a bigger car. So now he's obsessing about the car. But he also started obsessing about the bed. So I had a Sleep Number bed. It doesn't get better than that. I've had it for a while though. And he's like, let's just go to Sleep Number and let's just go try out some beds. And I was like, these are all the same as mine. And he said, let's just go on the really expensive bed, see what happens. If you're on bed rest for a few months, let's just picture what that would be like. So I laid down on the bed and I was like, oh, well, this is heaven. And he's like, but wait, it'll sit you up. It'll do these, whatever the features were, right? Now I'm laying in the bed and I'm tired because going through IVF, those hormones and all the things, it is a hard moment. So it's 2:00 in the afternoon. We're going home and I'm taking a nap. So we get home, I lie in bed, and now I can't sleep on the bed. That moment is when we called, ordered the damn bed, and so it could be installed the next day. It was an obsession that once you start picturing what it could be like, you can't stop. You don't want to stop because it can just get better from there.
That's so dang good. Rachel, I'm going to take a moment and shamelessly plug the Diary of a Damn Closer book that I wrote recently, just because I have a whole practice on that specifically, going through a mental process of seeing what's possible, opening that loop for yourself, because once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. That's the beauty of the internet, and also the curse, I guess, of the internet is once you see it, you can't unsee it. Well,
the hard part, though, is as humans, we're always taught in school, there's only one right answer. You go to math class, you go to science class, there's only one right answer. But what if there isn't? What if there is an infinite number of possibilities that we're not even considering because we're only going for the one thing that's right or easiest or simplest to solve?
All right, now you're opening some loops for me. And, respectfully, I'm sure we could sit here and nerd out all day long, talk sales, talk marketing, and share incredible stories. I know I'm excited to come follow you, learn more about what you guys do, how you help people become absolute rock stars in their business. So, Rachel, what's the best way for me and the crew to come and find you and check you out from here?
You can find me at rachelminion.com. You can also find me at rockstarandmoon.com. And there's 2 R's at the end of Rockstar.
Perfect. Well, I will make sure those links are all down in the show notes because this has been an awesome conversation. I love the idea of helping sales professionals and entrepreneurs embrace that inner rock star, that alter ego, whatever you want to call it, because it's truly that level of confidence and stepping into it that allows you to reach the thing that you want to be in life. And that's, again, success is a perspective. It's different for everyone. What I love, Rachel, is how you broke it down into, let's figure out what's your vibe, what's the beat of your drum, and what are people going to vibe with. So I'm excited to come check you out and learn more. I do have one last question, because before we get out of here, there may be someone who's totally new to sales, totally new to this whole entrepreneurship journey. That's my goal with this podcast, is we get to impact at least one person on every episode. And if that person is new to the game of sales, what piece of advice would you give them to be successful?
Listen more. Talk less. Don't say anything that isn't a question, just until you get through discovery. So just shut up and let them tell you how to sell them.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Rachel, you are a blast. I absolutely love this show. Thank you so much for your time. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you share this on social media. Tag us, tag Rachel, let the world know. Send it to somebody that you appreciate who could learn, because that's what this is all about. Helping people dial in, build a life that they can live, be happy, be successful, be all the things. And sales is a great opportunity to do that. So go follow Rachel. Head over to callthedamnleads.com/podcast. Send us your crazy sales story. We'd love to have you on the show and talk to you soon. We'll see you guys on the next one. You know what to do. Go call the damn leads.